off and the clock has started.
Penis!
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Welcome to the 10th episode of Art Mart. I'm Trip.
I'm Nathaniel.
And welcome to an episode. We are going to be talking about the art of food today.
Food culture.
Food.
We're both very hungry, in case you couldn't tell.
I'm literally staring at nuts and cookie sandwiches.
He means peanuts.
That's nuts.
Honey roasted peanuts. The best kind of snacks.
Oh, the best. The best bar food, to be honest.
Ooh, that or like, but they have the crunchy and like spicy wasabi peas with the sesame snacks.
Oh,
those are freaking amazing. I can eat 17 bowls of those.
Well, I don't know if you remember this at all, but like back in the day when like health codes weren't the same as they were now.
Right.
Like there's places that you could like eat peanuts and like throw it on the floor and shit.
You can still do that in places, right? Texas Roadhouse still has that.
Not in Virginia.
Really?
I guess that's per state.
I've never been to a Texas. I mean, I've only been to Texas Roadhouses in 3 states, and they all allow it.
Damn
Granted,
right.
one of those is Florida, and I think Florida just allows you to do anything.
I mean, yeah, if you're in a state where you don't have to have a helmet when you ride a motorcycle, it's pretty much a free-for-all.
A state where you don't have to get your car inspected. Sure, throw peanuts on the ground.
Fuck it. Why not? A hurricane's coming anyway.
You're right. We're going to get ate by an alligator.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I heard about a hurricane story where some lady came home and like an alligator was like in her bed.
Just chilling in there?
Yeah, just chilling in
hiding from the storm?
there.
Alligator is surprisingly a tasty meat. You think it's like one of those things people just like want to lie about liking so they can seem tougher than they are, but it actually is just like a flavorful white meat.
It tastes like chicken.
It does. Like
It tastes just like chicken.
Unironically, it tastes like flavorful chicken.
It's a little tougher though.
I mean, if you have it in like small like gator nuggets, which is how I've usually ever had it.
Yeah.
You don't really have it like full like fillet sizes because that's kind of fucked up, not going to lie.
Yeah. Yeah, no way. But so like what does your diet look like?
Like growing up or like right now?
Well, both. You know, what was it? What is it now?
I mean, like growing up, it was a lot, pretty much like whole foods. We stayed mostly healthy. We didn't eat a lot of processed foods. I wasn't allowed to eat sugared cereals or anything other than skim milk growing up for like breakfast cereals.
Right.
Which didn't help because I was still a fat kid. So I'm not really sure what difference that made. But yeah, just like generally healthy foods. And that still kind of holds true now. I'm a little lazier with my diet. So like I'll get like pre-made foods and stuff and frozen meals. But yeah, it's mostly just if I'm making something, it's going to have some kind of protein, some kind of vegetable or green, and then a starch of some kind.
There you go. I grew up very differently. I grew up where my mom complained about cooking, and it was just Stouffer's in the fucking like oven.
No.
She's like, I slaved over this shit.
And it was just
It's like, Mom, it's Stouffer's,
stovetop.
dude. You opened a box, took off the fill, and then put it in the oven. You press 2 buttons, and boom.
There was some stovetop stuffing recipe my mom followed off the box. My mom wasn't a particularly good chef, and my dad was. So like, she would cook, but it was better for all of us if she didn't. One day she made us some kind of like stovetop stuffing with like tomatoes and chicken. Oh, there's an ambulance going by. No ambulance. I'm just telling a story. I'm not eating it again. And when she put it down, my brother and I like looked at it and then just started laughing hysterically. Like we could not stop laughing over how this looked.
Presentation's huge, man.
And like my mom even gets like years later, she was like, "Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking following that recipe. The entire time I was making it, I was like, oh, this is not going to come out well." But by that point, you can't really stop.
I like the commitment though.
The commitment, A for effort.
Yeah, so I grew up on a really shitty diet, and like around 12, I kind of started figuring out everyone else was like eating healthy. I was like,
Of what?
dude, like literally, even like high school, it'd be like for breakfast, 2 cans of Red Bull and like 3 donuts.
Wow, that's a lot of sugar.
Yeah, I had like a heart murmur by the time I was 15.
Yeah,
They almost didn't let me swim. They're like, yeah, this is not healthy. I was like, all right, I gotta change
Because all the sugar would leak into the water and fuck up the filters.
Everyone in your swim team has diabetes?
Can you get diabetes through osmosis?
I don't know. But no, so I started changing my entire diet up then. Started cooking for myself, or trying to cook for myself. It's been like a 8-year, 10-year journey of me trying.
I mean, it always is learning new things, trying new skills, getting new technology, new equipment.
I just thought I'd catch on more by now.
It's a process.
Right.
What was like the food culture like where you grew up? Was it a bit of a foodier area, or was it more like towny?
It was a little bit both because you had like a huge like redneck population there
Right.
that lived off of fast food. Like my whole dad's side of the family lived off of fast food.
Right.
My mom's side of the family lived off fast food. Like that was like a staple. You know what I mean? Like, but you also had people that, you know, went to DC and tried out new bars and restaurants and stuff over there. So you had like a mixed culture.
Okay.
It was just kind of, you know, just kind of weird growing up with like Roy Rogers and shit. Terrible fast food restaurants.
That's what's that one like massive gas stop off of 95?
Oh, Flying J's?
No, it was Jesus, what the hell? Chesapeake House?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That had a Roy Rogers, just because I remember like seeing it and just like thinking that's the silliest name for a restaurant in the world.
I mean, like they had like two good, like a Gold Rush sandwich was really good. Their sauce was nuts, but it was such bad quality food. Or how about this? Like, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How is Long John Silver still around?
I think it's a front. Like them and like, what's that other one? Captain D's? The one that's like them, but
Yeah,
just like just a different version. I think it's all a front. I've never met anyone that's actually ever eaten at Long John Silver's, or at least wants to admit they've eaten at Long John Silver's.
I think you're right because I saw a TikTok of like someone walking to Long John Silver's at like 10 o'clock at night, and there wasn't even someone working there.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. If I ever worked there, I just wouldn't report in for a shift because why would I? Not like anyone's ever gonna eat there.
What do you do at Long John Silver's? I just study for classes.
I don't know. I've never been.
I've never been.
I've been working there for 8 months. They still haven't called me.
I still get paid though.
Thanks, ADP.
What about you? What about your area? Because you lived in more of a rural area.
Yeah, it was. I mean, any fast food was like half an hour away, so it wasn't really like part of food culture. A lot of people, learned how to cook during the warmer months. Grilling was a big deal. Everyone had gardens in their backyard, so fresh vegetables. So despite like living in kind of a rural towny area, people actually ate like decently well.
That makes sense. That's kind of dope. I wish I grew up like that, like eating healthier foods and learning that stuff because I had to learn myself. And
yeah, and you think all vegetables are disgusting because you've only ever eaten them over boiled.
Exactly. Or like when we were in school, they're like, oh, well, here's the food pyramid. And then like 10 years later, it's like, oh, shit, that's upside down.
Sorry. It was reflected. We had it in a mirror.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't realize that all this food pyramid was generated by Kellogg's. That really
was it Kellogg's? I know he's behind a bunch of weird shit. I know he did the food pyramid too.
Well, do you know why bacon and eggs is the #1 breakfast in America?
Had it been government subsidies in the 30s?
His name was Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays is mastermind behind modern marketing.
And it was bacon and eggs.
Bacon and eggs. So the farm industry really wanted to sell a hearty breakfast to America.
That's I figured it had to have been like the farm lobbyists.
Yep, they were the ones that like sold it to him, and then he proposed that he started making posters like every good person wakes up with a hearty meal and all
every
this
good
stuff.
American to fight the communists have 2 eggs and 3 rashers of bacon every morning.
Exactly, and he was the same person that did the campaign that started women smoking. So when women's rights came out, he was working for a cigarette company. Like, we want you to increase margins by 25%. He was like, well, I can do that, but I'm going to start selling to women. They're like, fuck it, start doing it. And he paired cigarettes with the Women's March.
That's so fucked up on so many levels.
It's ridiculous because like men were like allowed to smoke and women weren't. So it was kind of like this empowering thing. Like next thing you know, like their cigarette sales went fucking through the roof.
Yeah, the bacon and I mean I've never prescribed to the whole you have to eat breakfast foods at breakfast. I love like savory foods for breakfast or just like regular food. And then I also love eating breakfast food like any time of the day.
Oh, breakfast food is good any time of the day.
It's just always fantastic.
What's your breakfast look like? Or like what's your morning food routine?
Kind of depends on how lazy I am. If I actually have time, probably make some kind of omelet and then like oatmeal on the side. If not, just like throw together a sandwich with various meats and cheeses that I have in the house.
There you go.
Depends on the day.
Mine's really weird.
What is it?
Like I wake up and I before like I go to the gym, like I do a yogurt, a snack size of beef jerky.
Okay.
And then one fruit of some sort with a protein shake.
The yogurt, beef jerky, and fruit makes you sound like some kind of like middle Saharan traveler in the 1300s with your preserved meats and your yogurt.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
If it got them across the continent,
then it's good for me. And I do that, and then I've been so I used to do bacon, eggs, and potatoes for breakfast, and then I recently
classic combo.
Yeah, classic. Thanks, Edward Bernays. But I started doing like a breakfast bowl every morning. Like
Okay.
Rice on the bottom.
Okay.
Like bunch of veggies and then some egg whites.
Rice and eggs is supremely underrated in America.
It's delicious.
It's so good. Just like barely cooked eggs, just enough to like get the whites not runny. And then have the yolks be like almost completely raw and mix it in with the egg, bit of soy sauce. Like
a little bit of soy sauce. Oh.
Americans are so kind of weird about like slightly raw foods. That's so good.
It's oh my god, it's so good. Rice and eggs are great for even lentils too. Like I've been doing.
I love lentils.
Like little
so
lentils.
cheap.
Oh, it's so cheap, so good. And it's healthy for you too.
Surprisingly, yes. All of those like whole grains are surprisingly healthy.
And all you guys listening to this, are eating bagels in the morning and cereal.
Bagels are good. I freaking love bagels.
They're good, but I got a point. You technically versus someone who eats eggs and other breakfast foods that are not so high in carbs and sugars. They eat 81% more during the day than others.
Now that is something that studies might have found, but I'm always more curious on the correlation versus causation. Is it just the kind of person that only eats a bagel or a donut for breakfast is the kind of person that snacks more throughout the day anyway? Is it more so that they're hungrier? I mean, obviously, if you're just eating simple carbs, you're going to be hungrier.
Well, I agree too. And another thing that people don't factor in at all, and I've been saying this for fucking 10 years, is genetics.
In terms of hunger?
Yeah, everyone's different. Everyone processes food different.
I'm always hungry. No matter... I like one can't get full, and I'm always hungry, so it's a very strange combination. I could be a professional eater in a future life if I ever wanted to.
Might as well, man. There's tons of challenges out there. Go for it.
Like that one guy on YouTube who like bikes 1,000 miles a week just so he can keep up with all of his food challenges.
Yep. So can you imagine having to like displace your life that much to keep up with like your job or whatever? Like,
I mean, if you like doing it, seems fun. If I get to eat that much food.
Well, that's true. Well, how about this? Like, how do you think food's marketed to kids nowadays? Is it better or worse than when we were kids?
I don't know, because growing up I didn't watch like cartoons. I just watched like Animal Planet and Discovery, so like I was marketed like Raisin Bran Crunch.
Right. Well, true. Okay.
I don't know how food is marketed to kids nowadays. Something I've always kind of wanted to like dig into is how slightly kind of racist the sugary food industry is, in the sense that the worst foods have the multilingual translations. Where anything like organic, if you have like organic Pop-Tarts, or the Pop-Tart equivalent is the Whole Foods, it's going to be in English. But then when you pick up the next box that is the Pop-Tarts, it's going to be in English and Spanish. That they're marketing more towards Spanish-speaking communities with the less healthy foods.
It's just sad. Well, I Pop-Tarts have BPA in them.
Do they?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. You can't really avoid BPAs.
It's disgusting.
They're just the ones that are caught.
Yeah, exactly. I really wish we had more food standards like Europe, though. Like a lot of the foods that like.
Right.
Like in France, it's against the law to waste food. Like you have to if you don't have any food, you're supposed to donate
versus
it.
The food here, we throw it out.
Yeah.
Because for some reason you can't give food to people who need it.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
At least some cities are better about it than others.
True.
I think Denver is a lot better than other places I've lived in my life. Looking at you, Florida.
I don't know. The state of food in the past 60 years has been a joke in America. Absolute joke.
I mean, it's good how more available food is, but it still sucks that there's still active legislation that's promoting food scarcity for no reason. Like the videos you see of like the milk being dumped out on the ground because they just have nowhere to sell it to.
It's just sad. Like I hate seeing that. Like I hate when I don't finish my meal or whatever, and then I can't really give it anywhere. I mean, like Denver is better. Like they're really good about composting, really good about that kind of shit. Like they even have air monitors here. Which
surprisingly good about composting.
Yeah, surprisingly good. Like my whole building does it.
Yeah. I was talking with my brother, and I forget what the conversation was, but I was talking about composting, and he was like, "Who the heck just composts?" I'm like, "Everyone here." Like, he's seriously, and he's a bit of an environmentalist, but it's so different than even like upstate New York,
right?
In terms of just the awareness about it.
We gotta do something, man. And food is our biggest issue with it. Like agriculture is just such a.
I mean, there are answers, but a lot of people are actively lobbying against them because they want their own interests to succeed.
Man, greed has ruined this country.
I mean, our country is built on greed.
That's very true.
The entire human society has been built on greed. It's nothing new.
That's very true.
It's just we're able to see it coming from 17 million sources every given second.
Well, all you guys out there listening, go to our Instagram and our Facebook and type what your guys' diets was like and if it's changed or.
What's your favorite cereal growing? What was your favorite cereal growing up?
Ooh. This is disgusting, but like Fruity Pebbles and I put a little sugar on top.
Oh, that's again the sugar.
Yeah.
Jeez.
My parents didn't really care. They're like, whatever, do it. I had like the most cavities ever.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've never had a cavity.
They hurt so bad, dude. They're terrible.
I imagine.
They're terrible. They're sitting there like fucking rooting into your tooth. You're like, why did my mom let me eat all this junk?
I think my wisdom teeth are coming in because I've had like a really weird pressure in my gums this past like week and a half, and then my teeth started to hurt this week, and then I've had kind of a headache like all week, and I think if I combine all of those, that's a wisdom tooth.
Well, probably, man, and it's gonna suck taking them out.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one.
That one was terrible. One of my was impacted, so they had to like drill it out.
How? Who? Why did they design wisdom teeth to never grow right?
No,
who designed that?
Originally, they did grow right.
Then what happened?
We stopped chewing on sticks and like all this other raw foods, and our mouths never grew right.
Then how come our kids still have them? Where's evolution when you need it?
I don't know. It's been lacking a lot, especially in the common sense department in humans.
I'm just mostly pissed about the wisdom teeth because I don't want to deal with it. It's happened before for like 2 weeks. It hurts, and then like I get over it. So I'm hoping that's gonna happen this time, where it just like corrects itself. Because there's nothing I want less than have to go through dental surgery.
Well, that's why I'm gonna like force my kid to like chew on sticks and stuff when they're growing up.
Just have them chew on rocks like a dinosaur.
I mean, we used to chew on stuff all the time, like twigs.
Did you?
Well, like our ancestors did.
Oh.
They had much bigger jaws than we did.
They were mu-maxing. Is that the bodybuilding form term where you just like clench your jaw to get a wider jaw?
Yeah, I think that's
like red pill shit right there.
That's ridiculous. that's how you like. If you tense yourself, like if you can literally tense yourself to pass out.
Yeah, they get like special kind of like mastic gums that like you just like chew on to give you bigger jaw muscles because they think that's why no one likes them.
So I do like I understand doing some jaw workouts and stuff like that. Like maybe get like a little squishy ball, like making sure that everything's cool. But like that's ridiculous, man. Just fucking like work on your traps more. That's all the same area. It does the same.
Just
shit.
do more shrugs.
Yes, do more shrugs.
Eat more. Chew more gum. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do have a problem with chewing gum. Like those big like the big plastic packs of gum.
Like the big leagues.
No. Just like the regular like sticks of like extra gum.
Yeah.
Open. Yeah, I go through like one of those a day.
Holy shit!
It's either that or smoking. I don't know which is worse for me.
Well, you're building your jaw, so you're fine.
Iron jaw.
Iron jaw. Well, I think we kind of covered what we need to cover for food today.
Just wait for some people from like L.A. or New Yorkers to say that, oh, y'all don't have real food out there.
Yeah, y'all don't got real food.
Denver food is interesting. I expected the food scene to be a lot worse than it is because everyone's complaining it's not good.
I see. I don't like it out here.
I mean, it just seems like pretty normal, like American food. I don't know what people expect it to be.
Like Denver's not gonna have its own cuisine. Like LA's got fish and stuff. Like
I mean, Denver does. Like New American, like steaks and burgers and like that.
They do like West stuff well. Like I've had the best food I've ever had in Colorado and Steamboat, and it was elk steak.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I mean, like literally, you know how mussels have fibers? You'd feel the fibers falling apart in your mouth. And it was one of those places where the price wasn't listed, and my friend's dad like bought it and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll never have something like this again.
I went to the Flagstaff House in Boulder the other week, actually 2 months ago now, and that's it was so good. It's the kind of thing that I felt bad later because like, oh, that's the best meal I'm probably ever gonna have my entire life. I peaked at 23 years old. I'm never gonna have a better meal my entire life.
Maybe there's hope for you out there.
I mean, I went to Capitol Grill last weekend, and that was freaking amazing.
I haven't been.
It's so good.
I've been eating out a lot less.
I mean, yeah, that was an expensive dinner, but it was so worth it.
I feel like if you're eating well, like it's money well spent.
It really is, considering like everything else that I spend money on. That's like, oh, if I want to go for a really nice dinner, I just won't go out one weekend,
right?
And then the price like makes up for it.
Exactly, and you're actually getting like you're probably getting more nutritional value out of that too.
Oh, there is no nutrition in alcohol and alcohol.
My liver's like, speak for yourself.
I've mastered it over 20 years.
My fucking liver's a masochist. But yeah, make sure you guys follow us on Twitch, Patreon. We'll be on Riverside FM here this next week. Gonna get that set up, and we got some cool news coming up. We're gonna be expanding the studio here soon, hopefully. Knock on soft wood. That's wood. That's wood. Just got wood in there.
It could be.
But yeah, so thank you guys for listening to this 10th episode. Peace.
Peace out.